shopping on Fifth Avenue, enjoying the finest dining, or taking in a sunset over the Gulf of Mexico, we are headed to a fun, beachy little town called Naples, Florida. Let's go. For centuries, we have migrated from one place to another, driven by seasonal changes, climate change, or economic forces. Today, we are seeing human migration driven by innovation and technology. This new breed of nomads are seeking lifestyle and peace of mind. I'm your host, Julie Faupel, global founder of Realm, and I've spent my entire career in the luxury space. Together, we're going to examine the great lifestyle migration and the stewards of real estate that help facilitate a safe haven for these new residents. We are in the most dynamic housing market of all time. This is Location Luxe. I am coming to you from Jackson Hole, Wyoming, and I'm being joined today by Denny Bowers, who is in Naples, Florida, having another record year. Denny, thank you so much for joining me today.
Thank you, Julie. I'm honored to be here. It's great to be with you.
So tell us a little bit of background. How did you come to this, kind of iconic status as one of the top producers in Naples, Florida?
I had a little different background. I came from the construction world. I sold on-site sales and then went into luxury renovations for two different builders, and we built some custom homes, did a lot of renovations, and one of the ladies I worked with, she asked me to join her and just help her on the general real estate side, and things kind of took off, and through sphere of influence and connections that I had, my career started, and then being able to further that each and every year is kind of where I got my start and how I've built what I've built as a company. So
it's so terrific. It's wonderful when somebody else kind of taps you and says, I think you'd be great at this, and kind of brings you into the business. Tell me, your background in construction, how does that help you?
It helps tremendously, and especially, buyers in the past and being able to see what other people have done with a similar layout, or actually having the factual knowledge of, and not a guesstimate of, yes, we can do this, we can't do that, or as I always say, you can do anything, it just costs money. So it depends on what you want to spend. But on the buying side, for sure, it definitely helps, and also comparing whether or not you do a renovation, or do you tear something down and rebuild, and where's the cost analysis for that. And then on the listing side, it's just having the connections that I have for the work to be able to tidy things up, to fix some things, change some things, knowing what buyers are looking for these days, and so all encompassing, it definitely is a true asset, and helps me tremendously, and that's, I think, why I've had the success that I've had, is being able to put all of those pieces together. So
totally. Well, I think that, being able to be so well-rounded, and kind of like a one-stop shop where you're able to advise with regard to, investment or material selection, but then also really steward the transaction all the way through to completion. So I think that that's incredible. Well, so tell me a little bit about the market, Denny. What's happening in Naples, Florida? It seems like it is on fire, but that's just from the outside looking in.
No, from the inside looking out, it's on fire too. So it's crazy. And having sold in the boom, in the 2005 to 7 range, and it's just a night and day difference of what we're seeing down here. And I was actually just running some numbers, and Naples has always been luxurious, and it's had a lot of old money, I always said, and a lot of old quiet money. But the new money is flooding here, and I always said Naples was a well-kept secret, and I think that secret's out, because it's people are coming in masses, and from areas that we've never really had a lot of before. We've had California this year. We've had a lot of New York City, which they used to always go, Palm Beach, Lauderdale, Miami. So some impressive stats that we have is just looking in a 2-year period. So from 2019, in 2019, there were just there 105 sales from 5 million plus. So only 105 total in all of 2019. 2 years later, this year, and we're not even done with this year, we're at about 3 times that. We're at 310 total units sold over 5 million. And then another really cool stat that look at is just the way that the numbers have ratcheted up with more people coming here is the 1 million to 5 million. There were 1,150 total in 2019. And by the end of the year, this year, we'll be at 3,000. So basically triple the number in a 2-year period. And I think that that's just that metropolitan areas coming in, seeing the value, seeing the beauty of Naples, and then being able to purchase, and it's really changed the dynamics of the area.
That's amazing. Those stats are incredible, Denny. I mean, just staggering demand.
And that's just the Naples zip code. It doesn't factor in surrounding areas of Marco Island, Bonita Springs, and things of that nature. But and on a standard year, we're probably between 6 and 7 on your standard year, and 6 and 7,000. And has gone as high as 8 or 9, and we're at 942. So it's a challenge.
Oh my gosh, so. I'll bet. So what is attracting all of these people from these different environments to Naples?
There's a lot. So the things I love about Naples, and I've been here almost 20 years now, and whoever developed Naples and put the infrastructure in, they did it right. The roads were widened. They were created early. When I first moved here, they made a 6-lane road, and what are they making this for? We don't need this. And it was so forward thinking. Naples has such a minimal traffic issue. You can always dodge it. Naples is a big grid, so if the Immokalee Road and I-75 corridor is going to be busy, you can bypass that. You might drive 4 miles further, but you can get around it. It's not a big deal. It's not gridlock everywhere you turn and everywhere you look. The infrastructure is great. The other things that they did that, you get a little bit more elbow room. Very few high rises. We have 2 sections of beach that have high rises, and other than that, everything has height restrictions. So the density is less, so you get a little bit more space, a little bit more elbow room. And last year with COVID, and we lived a lot of different life than many other cities around the country and areas around the country. But you could go out and you could enjoy the outdoors, and you have space, and you have a yard, or even if you're in a condo building, there's area outside to enjoy. So all of those things combined with wonderful fishing, waterways, beaches, all public beaches, so you can go at any time. Those are all pluses that I think that people have seen, realized, and then have migrated to for sure. So.
Wow. Well, so tell me a little bit about what you expect to see, next for Naples, because it sounds like it's not going to, the demand isn't going to let up. So what are you seeing as far as new development or, kind of solving some of the inventory problem?
So inventory problems are true issues. So I always break down, Naples has something for everybody. I mean, depending on how close you are to the beach, obviously the closer to the beach, the higher the price. So, but as you go east, Naples itself actually runs 25 miles inland, and you still have a Naples zip code. So there are more affordable properties, for everybody, and there's a ton of younger families coming as well. So on the lower end scale of price point, you have a lot of the tract builders and a lot of production builders that have developed, bought land, and they're developing now. Problem there is just supply shortage, and they've put a moratorium that they can only sell X number per month because they just can't keep up with the demand. So I think that as those communities get built out, that'll solve that problem in a sense. And then as you go more into luxury, one of the biggest changes of the landscape of Naples is going to be, there was a place called the Naples Beach Hotel, iconic, been around.
I love that place. I love that place.
Yes, you've been there, right? Yes, we talked about that. So they just got bought. It was in the same family, the Watkins family, since the 40s, and it was purchased for $360+ million. And they're going to build a Four Seasons hotel and then Four Seasons residences. So that will be starting. They're going to tear the hotel down and all the surrounding buildings. They're going to tear down in the first quarter of 2022. and then they're going to build the hotel first, and then all of the residences. And the numbers are staggering on where. So the highest price sale, which is kind of funny because it was 48.8 million on the beach, and the guy tore it down
Oh my gosh.
to build his own property. So that was the highest sale, recorded through the MLS in Naples. But some of these numbers on the condos, like the penthouse is reserved for 75 million, and it's a 16,000 square foot penthouse at the Four Seasons. So
Whoa.
that's going to change the shoreline of Naples, and with that new money coming in, and people, anytime a Four Seasons is built on the beach, it's going to attract a different clientele for sure. So
Oh, totally.
that's one of the major changes I see. But again, with the height restrictions, if that goes into a Miami, you're going to have a high rise or two or three. Here, they had a max. It was in a review with the city for 2+ years, and the max height that they can have is 70 feet. So it limits the density, and it limits what the shoreline will look like, which again keeps Naples it's more quaint, luxurious town as opposed to high rises everywhere and a lot of concrete. So
No, I think that that's really nice, and it's got to be, people feel so comfortable, and it's far more like a community as opposed to a destination, so to speak. Would you say?
absolutely, yes.
So they're already pre-selling those units when the Naples Beach Hotel hasn't even come down yet, so they haven't even started to build.
Correct. A buddy of mine he works for the construction company that's going to be running everything. So they're actually developing a road through the old golf course for all the construction equipment and trucks and everything. So they're developing that now. Once they get that done, then they're going to start tearing down. They're going to build the hotel first, and they actually have pushed the residences. So I would say probably the fall of 2024 is where they're looking, of where the first residences could be completed, but it may push into 2025 as well. But they're going to have a full marketplace. They're going to have just the amenities that every Four Seasons has and comes with it. So bringing that to a downtown Naples area that's already prestigious just adds another notch up on the belt, basically. So.
Oh, totally. Well, I am a big fan of Fifth Avenue and shopping on Fifth Avenue. So,
Right.
that having a Four Seasons right there and then being able to just walk to Fifth, that's perfect. That's a dream. I'm so impressed by kind of your knowledge, Denny, about development and kind of where Naples is headed. Is there anything else that's, kind of notable in terms of how the shoreline is going to evolve?
Yeah, there'd be two other things. One other thing in downtown Naples, and it's not residences, but I read a book. It's a pretty cool book. It's all the history of Naples, and the title's funny. It's when peacocks were roasted and mullet were fried is the name of it. So, but it's a lady that her grandfather was one of the first people here, and it talks about all these different things. But the original hotel of Naples was a downtown, close to where 3rd Street is. And they're building, it's been approved, and again, there's been some delays and different things, but one is slated. It's a 200-room hotel in Old Naples. It's just called the Old Naples Hotel, and that'll be right off of 3rd Street, just off the pier, basically. So that's a cool. There's nothing down there. There's no hotels there other than the Inn on 5th, and then you get off the beaten path, and there's some more. But when you add a hotel of brand new hotel to boot. In the Old Naples area, I think that's a big change that will attract more as well. And then the other one is where the Ritz-Carlton on the beach. So we have the two Ritz-Carltons. One's a golf course and one's on the beach. Just where the entrance of that Ritz-Carlton is, there's a developer building. It'll be three high rises and a few mid-rise buildings, but it's all on the corner of Vanderbilt Beach Road and Gulf Shore Drive. It's so intriguing to see the vision that some of these bigger developers have, and it's exciting to see it come in.
Well, I think that you are incredible and you're such a great steward of the destination. So I sure appreciate you joining me today on Location Luxe, Denny, and I'll look forward to seeing you on those beautiful beaches sometime soon.
Yeah, you need to get down here soon, Julie.
Thanks, Denny. Take care.
All right, have a great day.